The tale of the Pied Piper of Hamelin is one of the most famous works of the Brothers Grimm. The story of a mysterious rogue who freed the city of Hamelin from rats became popular among children and adults. However, few people know that this fairy tale has a real historical basis. We will dive into the story of the Pied Piper of Hamelin and reveal its amazing connection to real events. The legend of the Pied Piper of Hamelin. The tale of the Pied Piper of Hamelin tells of a musician Pied Piper who appears in the city of Hamelin at a time when its inhabitants were suffering from countless rats. These rodents turned out to be so numerous and aggressive that they became a threat to the existence of the city. The musician Pied Catcher, immediately noticing this problem, offered his services to the townspeople. He had an amazing gift. He could influence animals with his music, and in this case his target was a pack of rats. The rat catcher began to play his instrument, creating melodies that so fascinated the rats that they gathered in huge crowds to follow him. He led them to the Weser River, where they plunged into the water and drowned. With each new note the rats became weaker and weaker until they finally disappeared. Saving the city from rats meant a huge success, and the townspeople were ready to reward the rat catcher. However, when the time came to pay him the promised reward, the residents of Hamelin suddenly changed their minds. It seemed to them that he priced his services too dearly. In their eyes, his musical magic was not worth that much money. The Pied Piper, angry at the betrayal, decided to take revenge. He began his darkest and most terrible work. The night before his disappearance, he kidnapped local children. They followed him, and their traces disappeared, as if in mysterious darkness. Historical background. The story of the Pied Piper of Hamelin finds its basis in real events that took place in the medieval German city of Hameln, modern name, Hamburg. Even in the middle of the 13th century, this legend became part of the city's history. The legend dates back to 1284, when Hamelin was at the center of turbulent events. According to many sources, during this period the city faced a massive infestation of rats, which became a serious threat to agriculture and the health of city residents. Just like in a fairy tale, a mysterious rogue enters the scene. According to history, it was a certain stranger who introduced himself as a rat catcher. He promised to rid the city of rats, and for this he asked for a certain payment. Unexpectedly for many, his method really worked. In the course of events, just as in the fairy tale, the rat catcher gathered the rats into a huge crowd and led them to the Weser River, where they died. The city was saved and all seemed well. However, when the time came to pay the promised reward, the rat catcher was unhappy and left. The most strange and mysterious part of the story was the disappearance of the children. According to many sources, the night before his disappearance, the rat catcher took several local children with him, and their fate remains unclear. Their traces disappeared, and their disappearance became one of the most mysterious aspects of this story. Conclusions. The real events in Hamel, on which the legend of the Pied Piper of Hamel is based, add to the mystery of this story. This shows that even fairy tales can have a grain of truth, and such historical roots can remain in our culture, giving us lessons and morals that are still relevant today.